Okay, let's learn how to do a giant fan, which is conveniently my profile picture on YouTube right now. It's a picture I took of me holding a giant fan from a couple of years ago. So let's learn it. There's 3 ways to do it, and the first way is easy and the last way is hard. And I won't show you on my fingers what the intermediate way is, but it's in between easy and hard. Okay, so let's learn how to do it. We're going to take our deck and we're going to lay 1 card down and lay 1 card up. And we're going to do that through the entire deck. All 52 cards. And what we're doing here as our preparation is we are faking what's called a Pharaoh Shuffle. And if you don't know what a Pharaoh Shuffle is, I will cover that in the advanced version of this, or the hard version. It's not intended to be really a tutorial of how to do it because, quite frankly, I don't think there's really an easy way to do it. It's one of the more difficult things to do with a deck of cards quickly and efficiently. But anyway, now we've got our cards all laid out. We're going to square them up and we're going to push them into each other, but not all the way. And we're going to angle them into each other so that we can use our thumbs and square them all up into 2 nice and even packets. Okay? So once we have that, let me get this one back there. Okay? We're going to pull them back to even, and we want them to be interlaced about an inch or an inch and a half. And then since we have 52 cards, if we started on the bottom, we're going to end on the top. So we're going to take one of the sides, it doesn't matter which, and slide it down so that you have bottom and bottom on front and back. And that's going to give you your grip for the 2 ends of the giant fan. So from there, you just take the whole thing and you put it in your hand just as if you were doing a fan on the bottom half only. I use my thumb. You can use whatever finger you want to actually do the fan, but basically you just spread the cards out. And you end up with a big huge fan that's got 2 sets of cards in it. And here on the end you can see that I have 2, and that's because I had to slide one down. You could actually do this with 51 cards and it would be completely even if you're that compulsive about it. But you can close this up, just the same way you could with a normal size fan, and they'll stay together pretty well. And once you're done, you can grab onto them and do a nice bridge or something like that to square them up. Alright, so the intermediate way is to take the cards, to split them in half as even as you can, and you're actually going to shuffle both of these halves together as even as you can. And this is not going to be as perfect as a Pharaoh Shuffle, which we'll cover in a minute, but it's pretty good, and the better you are at doing an interlaced shuffle like that, then the better your giant fan will be. So we've got our cards together here. We're going to put them in fan position and fan. And right away you can see, here I've got a gap. Here I've got 3 cards together. So it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. And that's the intermediate way. Okay, so the advanced way is to do what's called a Pharaoh Shuffle. And a Pharaoh Shuffle is when you take 2 absolutely equal packets, alright, so 26 and 26. And you take 1 in each hand, you line them up completely even with each other. You apply pressure so that they bridge either upwards or downwards, and the cards will push into each other, alternating left, right, left, right. And it's a very difficult thing to do, and it doesn't work all the time. And if you jam them too hard, you're actually going to bend up the edges of your cards. But if you do it correctly, you'll get a perfect left, right orientation like that. And then from there, you can push to your inch, inch and a half, take them into fan position, and make your giant fan. Now you won't get that every time, but the more you practice your Pharaoh Shuffle, the easier it'll be. Just make sure you're using new cards that have a lot of spring in them and have very crisp edges. Okay, so that's the advanced way to do the Pharaoh Shuffle.